Welcome back. In today's episode, we talk about what it's like to be closing down a business. We might be selling it or closing it. How do we manage our team?
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performance Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy.
Today's question comes in from Elaine in Chicago, and Elaine asks, what and when do I tell my team when I'm selling or closing the business?
Great question, and there's two answers here. First and foremost, make sure that you understand what the state laws are, where you're located, if there's any sort of responsibility that you have legally to notify your employees of a closure or a sale. I doubt if in the case of a sale, but definitely at the closure. So touch base with the state just to make sure that you're in compliance, number one. If you are selling the business, my view on this is communicate often and early, because there's going to be people that are going to be worried about their jobs. And what does it mean with the new owner? Are they going to be eliminating jobs? Are they going to be consolidating jobs? Am I going to be making the same money? Do I have to work more hours? What does it look like? They're used to working for you, and they're going to be working for somebody else, possibly next week, next month, whatever it is. Are you staying on? What they're looking for here is some certainty. People do not like uncertainty. They don't like surprises.
And it would be helpful if you would think like an employee in this situation and ask yourself, what would I want to know? And then get all those answers as best you can, collect them ahead of time so that when you go to your team for the first time, you have a good amount of answers.
Yes, because if there's any uncertainty in your voice or your answers, they're even going to be more freaked out, and they're immediately going to start looking for jobs.
100%.
And that may be the last thing that you want to have happen. The other thing is make sure you get the entire team together. You don't want to go out and piecemeal, because guess what happens? The story starts to circulate. And change
every time it circulates.
What's happening? We're on the street. Well, just make sure you understand the facts and you communicate clearly and honestly.
Yeah, honesty
is important.
Do not
make stuff up. Tell them what the deal is.
And if you don't know, tell them you don't know.
Yes, but be careful of that, because anytime you say you don't know, they're going to think the worst, and I'm telling you, they're going to freak out.
And before you do it, go back and listen to our interview that we did with Price Pritchett.
Yes, because he does M&A work all the time. About
the 20-50-30 rule. And how that breaks down to the reaction in people.
Yes, that's a great... and here's what happens. The good people, they're the ones that leave because they have options. Mm-hmm. And the ones that, quite frankly, you wish had left a while ago, they're the ones going to stay because they don't have options.
And they might drag you down while they stay.
Exactly. Now, let's say that you're not selling the company, but you're actually closing the company. This is a different scenario. Again, make sure you check the state guidelines and the laws affecting any closure of companies. But if you have a closure, you've got to work very carefully. You have to have a plan in place. You need to communicate with your staff of what's going on. But here's the thing. As soon as they know the company's closing, what are they going to want to do?
Leave.
Absolutely. So why are they going to stay?
Work that answer out in your mind before you tell them, so you can tell them why they should stay.
Exactly. And here's basically how it's going to look. You're going to have to structure something that makes it worth their while. They can look for work in the meantime. You have a short window of how long it's going to take to shut down. If you're saying we're going to shut this business down in 3 months or 6 months, you're not going to have any employees left by the time you get 2 months out.
Absolutely not.
So when you're going to be shutting down a business, you want to be doing this within 60 days. And give them the opportunity, 30 to 60 days most, give them the opportunity to interview during regular business hours. It's going to be easier for them to find work while they're employed. Let them know that you're going to help them. That's no fault of their own. And give them an incentive to stay to the end.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. But it's going to be they're going to leave. They're going to tell you that they're going to stay. They're going to leave before they say they're going to, they were going to leave. Let's see if I can say that again in English.
Yeah, you said
They're going to leave earlier and sooner than they said that they would.
Yeah.
They're going to lie to you.
They're going to tell you one thing and do another.
Do another thing.
And be
Exactly.
prepared for that.
Yeah, and I get it. It happens. Just be aware that if it's critical folks, that's going to happen.
And you're closing anyway, so the good news is it'll be over soon.
I'm sorry, it's not a laughing matter. Look.
It isn't, but the bright side is these people will, in 60 days, be gone anyway.
Yeah.
So if they leave on their own terms, less you have to bear the burden of emotional responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Good luck, though. We know it's tough.
Yeah, nothing's fun about this, and it is going to be very taxing on you, and it's taxing on them and their families. So there's a lot of people at stake. It's not fun, but if it has to be done, just be kind, communicate, and do it as quickly as you can, and be as good as you can to the team that's supported you along the way.
Yeah, just do the best you can, and reach out to us at Peak Performance Nation in the Facebook group. Thor's done this before
absolutely.
himself, and you've done this before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if you have questions and you want to keep them sort of private, join the private face group.
It's Peak Performance Nation. It's a private Facebook group of peak performers, business owners that are in there that many have gone through this. So
many.
It's a great place to get some resources because you're going to need it.
Yeah. Good luck, and we hope that helps.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.